In today's world of technology and rider aids, a lot of top tier and even mid-tier motorcycles are coming with quickshifters. But what if I told you that you can get almost all the benefits and bring your shifting to the next level without any of these fancy rider aids? But first, what is rev matching? And is it just a thing to make you look cool when you're diving into a corner or when you roll up to a stop? Well, yeah, but there's a reason why this might be something you'll want to learn how to do yourself, not just for cool points, but it can actually help your riding. Hi, I'm Dave, and I've been a professional motorcycle coach for 25 years. I've literally helped thousands of riders get better at this skill. Let me start off with a quick story to kind of explain what this is all about. Long ago, in the before a four times, I did a two-up ride with a professional motorcycle racer. It was mind-blowing, and it's part of what inspired me to take my riding to the next level. But the one thing that I distinctly remember from that experience is we were going unimaginable speeds, leaning at angles I couldn't even fathom, going faster and braking harder than I thought was physically possible. But through all of it, I never felt him change gears once. And at the end of the ride, I mentioned this, and he cocked his head as though it was the dumbest question he'd ever heard, and he said, "Oh, well, yeah, I was blip shifting." So what is blip shifting or rev matching? It's a technique where riders will blip the throttle for every downshift, which is why these two terms are often interchanged. You see, when you downshift normally, your engine RPMs will increase when you release the clutch because while the wheel speed may be staying relatively the same, the lower gear means the engine speed needs to spin much faster to match. Basically, just like your engine can spin the back wheel can also spin the engine. Blipping the throttle spins the motor a little bit faster as we shift and just before we release the clutch, so the engine speed more closely matches the wheel speed, hence the term rev matching. Now, how we do this is pretty straightforward, and I'm going to get to that here in a second. But first, why would we want to bother learning it? What's the advantage? So when we downshift normally, we have to release the clutch very slowly so that the engine speed can catch up to the wheel speed. We've all done it wrong, right? Release the clutch too quickly and you enjoyed a violent jerk from the rear tire, and maybe in some extreme cases of the mismatch of engine speed and wheel speed may have caused the rear tire to physically hop or skip into the air. And to prevent this, we were all taught to ease the clutch out, right? A blip shift allows us, in simplest terms, to downshift quicker while also being smoother. And this is why racers perfected this technique eons ago when tires had far less grip than they do now. Back then, hopping or skipping the rear tire could have resulted in falling down, and you don't win races sliding off the track into the gravel pit. So like so many of the other techniques that we advocate for here, we measure their effectiveness based on if they work when the pace comes up or when the grip goes down. And in both cases, blip shifting, when done correctly, is beneficial in both scenarios. But let's look where this can benefit us mere mortals. First, we can downshift quicker, yeah, but we can also downshift through more gears in less time. Let's say we're on a long empty highway and come up on a tight bend. Shifting down through more gears in less time is valuable, right? The other benefit is engine braking is less harsh, so you don't get thrown forward into the tank, but less about you. Think about your passenger. Bonking helmets isn't fun for anybody, right? Now, while a lot more bikes these days have slipper clutches, which allows the clutch to slightly disengage automatically to prevent the rear wheel from hopping, I like to not get too reliant on technology. What if it fails? Or what if I'm on a bike without the technology? Plus, and I'm gonna be frank with you here, blip shifting is, well, it's fun to do, and it's super satisfying when you get it right. Now, the technique may take you a long time to master because while the process is pretty straightforward, the timing and the pace of the move is super important. You basically can't practice this in slow motion. It has to be done very quickly. That means that while you're practicing this and figuring out the timing, you're going to experience a lot of herky-jerky, embarrassing downshifts. But I promise you, the learning curve is worth it. So, what's the process? Only 2 fingers on the clutch. We don't want to squeeze the clutch all the way in. We only need to squeeze it in about 1/3 to half of the way. The next steps all have to be done in less than 1 second. The throttle is going to roll on a bit, then roll off, The clutch is going to squeeze in and out with the in part hitting the instant the throttle is open. The shifter is going to go into the lower gear at exactly the point where the clutch is squeezed all the way in as far as it's going to go. Now I'm going to use my Insta cameras for all of these shots. Now Insta is a supporter of this channel, but even before they were, I was using their cameras. They just offer so much flexibility when capturing creative and fun angles. And if you're interested in anything from Insta, including their brand new 360 flagship camera or the Ace Pro 2, or this awesome little thing that can be stuffed into all sorts of fun places, please consider using my affiliate link, either the QR code or the link down in the description. It really helps support this channel and all that we do here. All right, so let's go for a ride already so I can show you what this all looks like. Here's just my throttle in real time. Now this is my clutch in real time. And here's my foot in real time. Now let's put them all together and watch it in slow motion. And now let's watch them all together in real time. Now I know a lot more motorcycles are coming with quick shifters and auto blippers. If a bike has a quick shifter, it means you can upshift into a higher gear without the clutch. If it has an auto blipper, you can also downshift into a lower gear without the clutch. Now I mention this because a lot of bikes have quick shifters, not as many bikes come with auto blippers. Now, there's a pretty easy way to upshift most bikes without the clutch, without hurting anything, but downshifting without the clutch can potentially damage your transmission. So don't try bashing clutchless shifts on a bike without these technologies, which is why I mentioned the differences. Quick shifters are for upshifts, auto blippers are for downshifts. And yeah, I do have 2 motorcycles in the garage that have both quick shifters and auto blippers. And they are a lot of fun, but they do have practical limitations. And even on the brand new whiz-bang Pikes Peak Multistrada, I can outperform the tech. A little harder on upshifts, but mostly I can really outperform the tech when it comes to downshifts. And if you would like me to make a video about how to get the perfect quick upshift without a quick shifter, let me know in the comments. But in any case, that explains rev matching and blip shifting. As I mentioned, I think it's a lot of fun, and it may take you a good portion of the summer to get really good at it, so allow yourself to learn. It's worth it, and I guarantee if you head down to the comments, you're gonna read a lot of folks talking about how much and why they love blip shifting. If you got something out of this video, please consider clicking on like and subscribe. I wanna thank all of our channel members for all of their support, and I wanna thank you for watching. Also, if you're still watching, I'm willing to bet that you're really gonna get a kick out of this video. So I'll see you over there. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Ride on and ride well.